who back?
Who back?
How's everybody? How's everybody?
Who back? Wonderful. How about you? How you doing, well?
I'm glad to hear you all's tone. All right, I'm glad to hear you all's tone. Okay.
Glad to hear your tone as well.
Bless you. All right. Who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share?
I do.
Very good.
So, yesterday, you guys, I was kind of feeling down a little bit, financially or whatever, and Amun called me, and like I missed the call by 3 minutes, and then I've seen his call, and I called him, and he asked me what was wrong, and I was like, man, you called me at the right time because I need some light shine on me, help financially. He said he was going to shed me some light. And then I realized because I missed his call, so I thought something was up and that Amun needed something. And then, no, he basically told me like he felt something and that he felt like something was wrong with me. And I was like, man, that was kind of cool because he called me literally, like I said, at the right time, the right moment, and like when I was even thinking about him. And I say within that hour, I got the light that I needed. So, Amun, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I love you.
Bless your soul.
From that spiritual experience, I hope you guys learn, because I'm not the only one who's had this type of light experience with Amun. So, like, if you guys ever need any help, he will help you immediately and fast. So, again, thank you, Amun.
I love you. All right. Bless your testimony. Right, who back? Hey, where you at? Lazy, late bumped on one name. Say it again.
Prayer.
Say it again. Oh, yeah. Are you in Chicago? Huh? Okay, give me the prayer, Lucas. All right. We'll be right there. Aaron, are you here? I sent you all, I emailed most of you all some real heaven. I sent you a link that if you go to it, you'll realize that I did send you heaven. It's what I will for all of you. Please, star 64. Somebody's got it open. All right. Namuz, Ul, Shalel, Amun-Rayay. Prayer of Amun-Rayay. Nuk, Saduk be Amun-Rayay. Wu, Nabeb, Mo, Maruhu. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers. Wu, Mariyathu, and his papari. Wu, Manzarhu, Li Panan, Zaman, Wu, Wakwat. Ha, Nabab Yanun, and his warner for this day and time, the master Yanun. Khalil Amadat, Atir Li Amun-Rayay, Najor Shalel Pa Patat Wu Pataha. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth. And Nuki Nuwapu, I am Nuwapian. All right. Well, now, what's that next spiritual experience that you all have that you might share with us?
Hey.
Hey, where you at?
I don't have anyone.
Go ahead, T.
All right. It wasn't too much of a what you call it again?
Spiritual experience.
Spiritual experience. But I had a dream, though, a strange dream.
Okay.
And you was in this dream, and you was in the dream with me, of course.
All right.
Let me tell you what happened in this dream. It's a strange, weird dream, but I don't know what it means. But I'm going to tell you what happened in the dream. We was in the backyard, somebody's backyard. I don't know which. It was a yard, and it had like a pool. It wasn't really a pool. It was water, like in a round, digging the ground, like a hole in the ground. That is about 4 or 5 feet deep, and it was full of water, dirty water, rainwater, whatever. And we were standing by the pool, me and you. And you was trying to tell me that that's a vortex that we can go through. and go into a different dimension. And I didn't believe you, of course. You know, that can't be no vortex right there. That's a water pool right there. There's water with dirt in there. You say it's a vortex. So you said you're gonna prove it to me. And you jumped in the water and went deep under the water. I couldn't even see you no more. And I waited for a few minutes, and then your hand came out of the water. Just your hand. So I grabbed your hand and pulled you out of the water. And you wasn't even wet. And I said, wow, maybe there's a vortex.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, another hand came out of the water. So we grabbed that hand and pulled out of the water. And it was some weird guy, but you didn't trust the guy. He was some kind of demon or something. So you was kind of wanted us to throw him back in the water. And then he tried to come up again. And you grabbed him by the back of the head and slammed his face to the wall of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And he was bleeding from the top of the head. And we dragged him out of the pool and onto land right there. And he was almost knocked out. He was still conscious, though. And then after he was on the ground, laying on the ground, Dr. York walked up to us and asked us what's going on. You see? And then the guy got up who was on the ground and told Dr. York, this is between me and you. He said he don't know us. He didn't know me and he didn't know you. He only knew Dr. York. And he told Dr. York, this is between me and you. And then Dr. York said, no, he said, Terry must kill you. He mentioned my name and said, I got to kill a guy. I said, oh, what? I got to kill a guy. And y'all looked at me like I was supposed to kill a guy. So I grabbed the guy in the chokehold behind the neck and everything. And the guy wasn't even fighting back or trying to do nothing. He just let me choke him. So I had said, wait a minute, I don't know this guy. So I stopped choking. I let him go. And I told you and Dr. York, I can't kill this guy. I don't know the guy. He don't know me. He didn't do me nothing, so I don't want to kill him. And y'all was like surprised. Y'all was happy that I did that. You said I passed or something like that, or did a good thing, because I was the first person who didn't kill somebody that Dr. York ordered to kill. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So then Dr. York started walking away. He turned around and faced me and you, and he had blue jeans on, though, dark blue jeans, and he had three names on his leg, on his left leg, and the first name on his jean was my name. They just had Terry written in white, and then it had two other names under that, but I couldn't make out those other names. But I knew I seen my name on top. And then he walked away, and then you told me, do you still want to jump? Go into the vortex, this pool right there. You go into the other side and see what you can see, or go back into the future or in the past or whatever. So I said, yeah, I want to go into the vortex and check it out. And before I jumped in, I asked you, wait a minute, how do I get out of this vortex? When I do jump in, how do I get back? And you told me, once I get in there, I got to find a Bible, any kind of Bible anywhere, and open it up and turn it to chapter 6, and knock 10 times, lay it on the table somewhere and just knock on it 10 times, and that'll be a signal where you know that I'm trying to come back through the vortex. And just when I was getting ready to jump in the vortex, I woke up. The dream ended.
That's symbolic, but I'm telling you, we are in some serious times right now. I got on a telegram a minute ago, and a sister, very concerned, she asked me, did we fail the mission? Did the mission fail? And I told her, no, beloved, it's only shifting. And I sent her an example of heaven that I also sent you, Terry. I sent all of you all a very clear example of what I will for all of you. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. If you listen to the whole thing, and when I listened to it, I started going out of my body. All I had to do was make a right turn, and I would be anything and anywhere I wanted to be. I even went to Nibiru. I went and sat down and talked to Malachi a long time. I raised up a lot of family members on this side and the other side and perfected all of you all. I perfected your beings. And what I will for heaven for you all is that you be anything and everywhere, whatever that in your imagination you thought was perfection or bliss, right? Rather than me trying to impose on you my ideas of which I thought heaven should be for you, I just created a reality where heaven was whatever you all thought it was to you, right? And it could constantly shift as you matured and understood the spiritual realm more. But I do love you all, and I want you to know I'm very serious about that. But I do strongly suggest and urge you all to listen to that piece and put it out to the world along with our class time information so that people will come to class. It's time to raise up the 144,000, seriously. All right? And I really tip my celestial hat to Kim, Carlos Taylor, you know, and a special blessing to him right now. And you all are doing a yeoman's job that's reaching up for the 144,000. But I know you can feel it, that things are happening, just like the weather, you know, all this violent cold or whatever is reaching so far into the south. And these things with Trump, you know, trying to conquer countries and ICE taking over and all these horrendous things that's happening. A lot of you all that have your finger on the pulse of reality checked out Jack Smith today, breaking down in vivid detail how it's factual that Donald Trump tried to overthrow the election on January 6th, and they pointing out all the horrible things he's doing, stealing files and the pedophilia cases that they're trying to bury and all these things. But all this evil is like a blackhead. It's got to come to the head, right? And it's coming to the head right now, and you all are bearing witness to it. You will to be here on the cusp of this Armageddon of transformation, and you are here now. So put your seatbelts on and keep your focus on heaven. And let's work together to raise up to 144,000, because as soon as we do, I can get y'all up out of here. You don't have to wait until 2030 to go to heaven. All right? But you can wait until 2030 and not do your job, and you won't go anyway. So get busy. I love you all.
You want to listen to our moon? Me too, son. Roll back.
I love you. Bless you, Kim.
You're welcome, son.
And I sent you that heaven too, Carlos.
Okay.
Listen to all of it, and you be there. Sister, you have something to say? Somebody got another spiritual experience?
No, but I just want to say to Kim, I just want to say to Kim,
go ahead.
Man, I really appreciate you for being brave and putting that out there for the world to see. And, you know, not a lot of us are really, you know, as brave as you are, man. And that means a lot to me because it's an inspiration. And I'm glad you were able to do that in front of the world and show everyone who the Messiah really is and help bring these people home.
Well, it proves for a fact that he's chosen. He is chosen. And he's definitely the 144,000. Because all you do is look at the millions of people that are not blessed like him. In other words, they're not chosen. All right.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Rahul Bad family, this is Anubis. I would like to.
I love you, brother.
I have an input as well. I've had a glorious experience. I came in today from somewhere, a store, whatever, and my eyes, I've been having problems with my eyes, especially the left one, and all blurry, and I couldn't hardly see, light sensitive and everything. So Moon said, "Stop making all those ugly faces." I said, I can't hardly see. You know, whenever I try to do something. So while I was doing whatever, I sat down and then I looked over at the TV, and I could see the images on the TV so much clearer, not as clear as the right eye, but so much clearer.
and I can make out details, and so I scanned the room and I seen everything in the room the same way. I could even see Amun, his face. I said, I could see much clearer. He said, yeah. He said, I was giving you light while you was moving around. You didn't even know it. And also he said that I've been sending you light all night. Well, this is something that I know. And I knew as soon as I realized that I could see that it was him that was doing this. Also, I found out about 2 weeks ago that my sister is gravely ill. And she had a couple strokes, but I didn't know anything about it. My son sent me an email telling me that he had heard it. So when I inquired about it, I was lied to that it wasn't true, but guilt made them call me back and say it was true. Then they found out that she had cancer in her gallbladder area, which proved to be one of the worst ones that you can have for them to deal with. And so last week, they called me and said that they had given up on her and she was on a breathing machine, but they were going to send her home to say goodbye because they had only given her a couple days to live. Well, today I found out this morning, my daughter told me that my son said he talked to them, the daughters, because they were saying they didn't want to tell nobody nothing to keep the mother's privacy, that the daughter, one of them said that her mother told them she only wanted her immediate family around her at the hospital, so when she went home, then she would accept visitors from other members of the family. So when I tried to say something to her on the phone, she managed to get out 2 words, I'm fine, due to the stroke. So when she started talking, they wouldn't even call and let me know. I found out today that she's been talking. But in the meantime, I had appealed to the Messiah to please help me out with that. And he started sending her tremendous light. And I knew as soon as my daughter told me that my sister had started talking, that light had something to do with, in fact, it had everything to do with the healing power coming from the Messiah. So I just want to tell y'all, anybody out there that don't believe the testimonies that we are telling y'all about the spiritual healing light sessions and his healing light powers, you don't want to believe it, but you are just in a sad, mad state, because it is true. He can heal you. You must believe in him. I believe in him all the way. And every time he touches me, I can feel the glow of the heat that comes from him, sending me healing light, and whatever is ailing, don't ail no more. So please, be wary.
All right, bless you. Thank you. And I want to caution everybody, too, and you, too. Lucas, mute your phone. I also told her and reminded her in regards to her sister, you got to mute that we all come here when we get ready, and we all leave when we get ready. And I've run into several people on this journey here to earth that I tried to bless in a healing way, and they told me in no uncertain terms that they don't want to be healed. They don't want to, they're tired, they want to go, and etc. But I was trying to get her to understand that I was just trying to give her an opportunity to communicate with her sister. You know what I mean? Because there might be some things left unsaid or what have you, but you can't hold nobody here when they're ready to go. Be confident in that fact, right? Because see, especially when people get to be a certain age, they have more invested on the other side than they do here. Just like you hate to see your sister or your mother or your father or something, grandfather go. You got to understand, they miss their mother and their grandfather and etc. You know what I mean? It's on the other side that's calling them. They got more friends and relatives on the other side than they do on this side. You follow what I'm saying? So know that, and don't be selfish. And as far as healing, I don't want to confuse people and think that I'm just here and I'm just a machine to heal people. I heal people by the will of the Most High that are invested in this mission right here. You follow me? It's not like people can call in talking about, I'm going to put my foot on the TV, and this, that, and the other. It's not like that. It's not, this mission is not about healing, but that is afforded for people that are very seriously involved in the propagation of the truth and the success of this mission, for heaven. And that's the reality of it, right? And also, being healed by me has a lot to do with your belief in it. Just like the Messiah Jesus said in the Bible, the people that approached him for healing, he would first ask the question, do you believe that I can do this thing? And when they replied in the affirmative, then he would say that by your own faith may you be made whole. You follow me? So I want y'all to study it, the reality of it. It's not magic, and it's not something that just drops out of heaven. Like I tell some people that they with us in the mission, but they're not really involved in it. They don't think it's necessary. They don't feel, motivated to try to join all large groups and post up the post over and over again. They're not really excited about trying to bring people to class, And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, but now you sitting around like one of these young punks that's in a relationship, and a woman going to work every day, and she leave him in his shorts playing video games and come back home and he's smoking weed in his shorts playing video games. And I thought she was looking for a job. I am, but he studied playing video games like he waiting for a job to come and knock on the door, say, hey, I've been looking for you. Heaven the same way. You can sit up until you run out of time, waiting on heaven to just drop by the sky like, hey, I've been looking for you. No, you got to earn heaven. In the same way that you got to earn hell. You can't be no lazy crackhead. You understand what I'm saying? It take money. You got to earn it. So just keep these. I just want to give you all a reality check and keep you anchored in truth and reality. I don't want nobody to get spooked out here. All right? Okay. Now, who else has a spiritual experience or question?
Amun.
Yes.
I'd like to give gratitude that you are real, because at 10:25, me and my son go out every night. And it's amazing how we don't have to hear your voice and how things are moving like you talking to me on the phone, how you usually do it for us. And it'd be so amazing to us how things be happening and counterclockwise up and down and move back and forth. And me and him just be blown away. So I really know that you are who you are.
And I love y'all for going out there to bear witness to it, because at 10:30 every night until further notice, I do move stars in the Orion constellation and the moon, etc. at 10:30 p.m. every Eastern Standard Time every single night. But who cares? And you do. And I tip my celestial hat to you for that, and a special blessing to you and your son.
Thank you, Amun.
Yes. Next visually. Very good. I'll do my best.
You just spoke about the healing, and as individuals mature in life, is the veil thinner the closer you get to, I guess, your departure, your ascension time?
Yes, it is for those that are really involved in in the success of the mission. It's getting thinner for them because they're getting closer. Exactly, precisely. But there are some that are not working toward it, and they're not invested in it, and they're not advancing. In fact, they're on the verge of being left behind in the old world.
So they can have communication with those on the other side and back and forth, basically, in two worlds.
Okay, who are you speaking about when you say they?
A person that's just like when my mom transitioned, and she would get that look in her eye of like looking far away into the distance.
That's right. That's right. She was communicating with them, and they with her. Right. Remember I told you all that if you have a relative that's in the hospital and in the throes of passing and in real bad shape, then you go to visit them, and one night they so lit up and bright, sit up in bed cracking jokes and shining, and you get so happy, and you go home, and the next morning you get a phone call that they passed away that night. Well, what happens is that angelic beings come to visit them and their relatives, and these angelic beings, their light is so powerful that it invigorates them and it sparks them up, and they feel youthful and energized, and they light up. But they're just coming to them to help them in their transition, help them to cross over. You follow me? So they're not alone at that moment. You follow me?
That's what happened to us.
Oh, yeah.
So
Sure.
when they say they said like dementia or whatever, and I was discussing this with a brother about, are they actually, I guess, doing dimensional shifting where they go there and come back, or do you know?
No, when they have dementia, actually, that's a problem with the brain, and it's got a lot to do with aging. But what it really is parasites in the mind, and you know, imbalance, you know, and the disconnect between the spirit and the flesh. It's just a lot of things that are attributed to it. But it's just like just think about Alzheimer, and some people that are kind of literally call it old timers, right? But that's not far from the reality of it. It's just like arthritis. It's just something that's common in the elderly. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's the difference then between a person that has, I guess, multiple personality disorder? They say it's a disorder where Can you explain that? Yeah.
Well, if you take there was a movie that came out called The Seven Faces of Eve. Any of you remember that?
Yes. Yes, I remember.
Okay. Well, what happens is that when somebody is born, sometimes they have walk-ins or spiritual beings, you know, agreeable or disagreeable or both, some are clashing energies that possess the body, right? Or, for example, if a person is in the womb and they're supposed to be twins, but they never separate, and they can have the personality of that brother or sister in there as well. You follow what I'm saying? And so when they have these other spirits that occupy the same body, it's just like the book that the master teacher wrote about the 30 spirits, right? All of you have 30 spirits from 30 relatives. You follow me? It's like genetic kiss. And explaining that is that when I look at you, I see your mother and your father. You follow me?
Sure.
And what you're composed of is 33 1/3% your mother, 33 1/3% your father, and 33 1/3% yourself. And all of you are born under different signs. But if you have, and this goes back all the way to the 4th generation, right? So that means that you're also your mother and father's father and mother, you know, and their mother and father, back to the 4th generation. That's why in the Bible the Most High says he puts a curse on those, even to the 4th generation of those that hate him, right? Because after 4 generations, the link is too weak to matter. But, you know, if you say your father was a football player and he hurt his knee, his sons and daughters can be born with a weakness in that same knee, in that place. Or, you know, when you look at a child, and you all have children, they say, look at that girl, she just like that nigga, she just like that guy, the way she act and talk, or she just like her mama. You see it all in there, right? Well, because you take on the characteristics and attributes of your parents and your family members. You're associating that link. So what happens is that if you have an uncle that's a butcher, for example, and they say, why is he always cutting people? But it might be inherent in him that he don't even know where it comes from, but he's quick with knives and cutting flesh, or, you know, an auntie that's a meat eater, and they love meat. Well, you know, if you want to be a vegetarian and you get off the bus to go home and you walk past a restaurant and you smell them cooking steaks and hamburgers in there, and all of a sudden you get this terrible urge to eat it, and you go in and you submit or you give into that urge, and you eat that hamburger or something after being a vegetarian for 5 years, well, it becomes a habit, like a glitch in a record. Boom, 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 boom. You can't get past that. So every time you get off the bus, you go in there and get some of that meat on the way home, because one of your relatives that loved meat, that was, say, four spirits back, that moved up to first place, and they overtook you. So now you become, in that regard, a passenger in the backseat of your own car that's making turns, that's confusing. You don't even know why you having these urges. Well, there are some individuals that have family members like that inside of them spiritually, or either walk-ins, and they're in the background. You follow what I'm saying? These are the ones sometimes to give you suggestions, positive or negative suggestions, right? And you might have an urge that you don't know where it comes from, to smoke a cigarette or taste alcohol, and you don't like it. And it could be one of your relatives that's urging you to do that. And in the 7 phases of Eve, that woman was at times, a wonderful homemaker and a mother. Then sometimes she was a librarian, and then a whore, and then a undercover agent, that lived multiple lives and actually killed people and did a lot of different things for the government. You follow what I'm saying? So she had all these different personalities in her. You follow me? And they would come forth at different times, and whenever one of those personalities came forth, it would be so dominant that it would block out the other one. So she was never cognizant of the librarian or the housewife when she was a CIA agent, for example. You follow me? And, a man married to a woman like that, he's always surprised about what he's going to find when he come home. He never knows, who's going to open the door. Is it going to be the killer or the whore or the mother or the nurse or the librarian? Who is it going to be? Right? Because all these personalities are circulating inside of it. They call it schizophrenia. They got a lot of names for it, in the psychiatric trade, but that's really what it is. It's spiritual entities that are walking and possessing, more of them occupying one body. Just like in the Bible when they spoke about Jesus that was driving demons out of people. He went into the cemetery one time. They had this madman, a wild man, chained up to the tomb with heavy chains, because he was so crazy, and when he get loose, he'd tear up people and do all this ugly things. And when he came to that man and healed him, and the demons inside of him, some said, he asked, who are you? They said, we're legions. Legions. That's how many demons loaded up with demons, right? Mm-hmm. And they said, son of man, why are you here? It's not our time yet. And with that, he willed them to into the swine herd, and made them leave out that man and get in that swine herd, and then he commanded the swine to run over the cliff and die in the fall in the ocean, and they took the chains off the man. He was cleaned. Are you following what I'm saying? But he was possessed with legions of demons is what it was. And people with multiple personality disorders, it's the same thing, just not as intense, okay?
Okay, so when you say, or I hear, I'm talking with the ancestors, or I communed with that means that they've had walk-ins?
No, they are the walk-in, in a sense. Because you have blood links, the spirit is in the blood. You hear me?
Okay.
And, you got your father and your mother's blood in you. Because semen is blood, you see? So the spirit is transferred. For example, when a man ejaculates in a woman, that sperm, what it does is it travels up her spinal column. You follow me? And it goes up to the 7 planes, up to the mother's crown molar, and is sparked at the top of her head. And then it travels back down the spinal column and goes back into the womb. You follow me?
Hello?
But it's ignited with that soul. It's not just a physical process. But the spirit is in the blood, in short, right? And that when a man and woman come together in harmony, that is they exchange blood and fluids. Are you following me?
Tua?
And that baby is made up of that material, that blood. And the spirits are transferred. That's why that a daughter or a son could have her father look like that girl look just like a daddy. You understand? I can see that nigga all in her. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? It's because, okay, well then that's a form that her father's in her. In other words, you understand what I mean? Is not physically, but, well, physically also, but spiritually as well. You hear me? When a person can take on the attributes or characteristics of somebody else, then that means that the person it's a form of, I don't want to call it possession, but they're involved in that person. Are you following me? Their presence is there.
It's a part of who they are, basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Amun,
yes.
I want to share a story that you talked about last class, and it's touched me dearly because my older sister died of crib death, and I always wondered what was the real meaning of what crib death was, and you broke it down, and that was touching to me. And she was the oldest one. My mama can tell you the story about that. She died before all the other siblings was born. But my mama said that she was in the bed, and my grandmama, which is my mom had passed, and the baby was in the crib. And my mama said her mama showed up, which is my grandmama. She didn't have no, mama said she didn't have no head, but she knew her body. And she told her she needed to go check the bassinet with the crib where the baby was in. And mama said when she went and checked, my sister had passed away. So that was very touching. You talked about that last week, and you broke it down to me, made it plain. I've been waiting for that story to be been revealed to me about crib death, and by you sharing that last week, I got a little emotion, but it was happy because it's like you answered something that I've been looking for a long time. So I appreciate you for that.
I love you. And that was taught to me by Partner Babianoon, the master teacher. I want to make sure that everybody understand that. All right?
Got you.
I love you all. You see, he and I are one, and this is just like I told you, a baton race. And there is no bigger small than the eye of all. You know, what do you say? Faith in brief, amantu balahi, wa malakati, wa kadubihi, wa wasulihi, wa yomi alakari. I believe in Allah, His books, angels, messengers, and in the final and last day. Are you following me? And make no distinction between any of His scriptures or His messengers. Right? There's no difference between Jesus and Moses or anybody. You follow what I'm saying? They all came from the same source with the same message at different times to different people, right? Depending on your level of vibratory consciousness, right? In other words, right. If they sent somebody to you 2,000 years ago, people would be more backwards, and they would come with more mundane, simple reality, right? But the more people advance and they get more intelligent and sophisticated with computers and you start upgrading, and then the message is more refined and it gets more detailed. Like the questions you all are asking me now, the people would never have had the mind to ask 2,000 years ago. In the same way in the Bible, in Bible language, they talk about fiery chariots and this and that and the other, and you all know today that they were actually talking about UFOs and crafts. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and my point is that the same Jesus that came 2,000 years ago, the same one that's here with you today, but He's not revealing, He's just revealing different aspects of His consciousness that He was groomed for this generation of people, right?
Right.
Yeah, because you all are ready for a higher level of information and knowledge, ready for the receipt of it, right? But the whole plan is that we come in succession in order to keep elevating you all, because this project involved 124,000 prophets and prophetesses, 315 apostles, and 113 messiahs, and one Mahdi. And then there's 19,000 more that's coming into the earth cast that's coming for the first time here to round off the 144,000. So I'm saying that the people, the brothers and sisters that are with me, are actually all those prophets of old and prophetesses. A lot of you don't know it, but many of you are Mary and Fatima and Moses and Abraham and all that, and you're back again, right? Not just me, you all are too. That's why they refer to it as the reawakening of the elite few. They prefix it with R-E. Not just the awakening, but the reawakening, which is implying, of course, that you were all conscious and awake before. You follow me? But you fell asleep under the spell because you've had so many lifetimes here on earth in the interim and the process that every time that you're reborn, you wake up and you forget again. There's an insight. And then I'm here to try to refresh you all's memory because you know that messengers and prophets used to perform miracles. And that's why I always push you all to move stars and different things like this, because I want you to reconnect and with the reality of this is something that you previously knew but have just simply forgotten by time, okay?
Thank you.
Right. Ooh. And every one of us, it was always our mission. We were sent here as light workers for what? To do what? What's our mission? Why were we sent into the world?
144,000.
That's right. We were sent here to raise the consciousness of the world, to raise up the people. So I'm saying anybody that's with me that's acting like they're not motivated to try to reach the people, you're just kidding. You're playing with yourself. That is the mission. Go get the people. Do your job and earn your seat.
That's right.
That's right. Earn your seat.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Moon.
Yes.
I have another spiritual experience. Earlier you were just talking about like people making it to heaven and hell, like you got to work for it and stuff like that. A couple of months ago or whatever, I was talking to both my mother and my grandmother. They're both Christians, and I had asked them that, about Donald Trump. I said, Donald Trump's been evil for his whole entire majority of his lifetime. So I said, by the time he gets to his deathbed and he got like 5 minutes, you mean to tell me all he has to say is Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior, God please forgive me for all my sins, and he gets to go to heaven?
Yeah.
And then they said, yeah. And
no,
I immediately was like, you know what, I'm going to change the subject because I'm not going to, go back and forth and argue. And then I think when I went to myself and, like, had a conversation with myself, because I was really, like, confused on this logic. Like, what in the hell makes you really think that? Like, you know what I'm saying? And
no, so that shows you a different level of, you know better than that.
Yeah, and I think it was like, maybe it's like the perspective of like, maybe they are right in a sense. Like if I don't believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, right, then that means I'm going to hell. So in Christianity perspective, if they're all going to heaven because they have the same mindset in some cases.
And because he died for your sins.
Right, they have the same kind of frequency.
Right, but the problem is the world is still sinning, so what did he die for?
Exactly.
So he didn't even die. The whole thing's a lie. So by that premise, then we'd have to suppose that Adolf Hitler could be the devil all his life, or Donald Trump, and get on their deathbed and recite those words and go to paradise.
Right.
Okay, so what would be the point of people being righteous and being good and refraining from evil if an evil person could go there with a word?
Exactly.
And what would be the point of having hell? To punish you?
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, the whole concept. And that's why I call you the young lady with the old head. You wise. You know better than that Christianity, religious BS right there. But that's one of the reasons people pursue Christianity, because it's a cop-out. It's a cheap way, and they believe that they can go to heaven just by going to church and saying they believe in Jesus.
Yep.
That's right. But that's a blatant lie. And so is the Bible in many places, right?
So,
I have a question.
Yep.
Cheryl, are you here in London?
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have something to write with?
Yes.
Yeah, religion is the greatest mind control.
That's right. It's an opiate. It's an opiate for the masses.
So would you say it's not wise to read the Bible?
I don't. Okay. There's some wisdom in all information. All scriptures have some truth in them. But if you read the Bible in the sense that you expect that to be the unadulterated word of God, then you'll be misled. You follow me? There are only two books in the Bible that can be absolutely relied on. That be the book of John and the book of Revelation. Are you follow?
Yes.
In that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, for example, those are just hadith, just like in Islam, Bukhari, Shahid, and all that sayings. You follow? And Paul is basically a lot of letters, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
now,
I read the Holy Tablets, and that is much better than the Bible.
That's your scripture. You follow me? And a lot of these books have been bastardized, like the Quran and the Buddhist text and you know, the Bible. But the point is that one thing you can rely on, even if they originally started from the Creator, but all those scriptures were written out of the old Anunnaki text, like the cuneiform tablets, the Gilgamesh epics, Atrahasis, Enuma Elish, tablets of Etna, you know, Sumerian text, right? The flood stories and all that are in there. And what happened over time is they kept on altering the text. For example, King James was a political king, and he was a cripple up until the age of 7, and he was a homosexual. And what he did is that he hated his political adversaries that disagreed with him, so he had Shakespeare to add in the Bible that if they accused anybody of witchcraft, that they would give him a witch test. He had him write in there in Shakespearean language, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live," right? And that gave them the authority when Shakespeare authored it, so that they would give people a water test. That King James had somebody go out and point and say that he or she was a witch if they disagreed with his political agenda, and throw them out in a boat and tie their left ankle to their right hand and their left hand to their, other ankle, and throw them overboard in the water. And if they floated, they would declare the witch, and so they would bring them in and then put them on the wood pile, set them on fire, and burn them at the stake. But if they didn't float, it didn't make no difference, right? So that was heads I win, tails you lose. It didn't make. So if you disagree with the king, you was a dead nigga. You understand what I mean?
That's cold-blooded.
Well, it is, but it's the way the devil works. All right, Miss Cheryl, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Thank you for your patience. And I mean that. All right. Your tracking number is C824782196 Let me give it to you again. Your tracking number is C, Cat, H, Harry, 247821962US. And I'm not gonna. I love you, and I want to let you know that I gave you real love, and I increased the size of it for several reasons. because you're so far away and it's so expensive, I make sure that I give you a lot more than everybody else, so that it'll be enough to last you for a long time, that you can keep on studying and learning, right? Because it's,
I appreciate it.
yeah. Well, they charge just $100 just to mail it to you today. But
wow.
That's all right. The thing is when you get it, though, you'll realize that it was worth it. Everything's not just about money, you know what I mean? That's not the real value of it. I just want to make sure you get the material that you need to keep expanding your consciousness. You hear me, family?
Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
And I'd like you to let me know when you get it. Please.
I will do.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to keep this information. But I did what I told you. One of the reasons it costs so much is because I sent a priority mail all the way to London. You follow?
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you. Next question. And
I
also...
have a question on the...
Okay, 1 second. And Aaron in Chicago, are you here yet?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we're working on your healing package, right? So just let me know when that gets here. So, and I want to tip my celestial hat to Aaron because he's committed to send us $100 every Friday, and that's really going to help the mission. So, bless your heart for that, Aaron. That just shows a level of commitment and sincerity. Are you following me?
Yes, I am. I'm trying to just find my way to help.
I love you. I love you. I really do. All right, now, yes.
Yeah, you expect something from me tomorrow, too, sometime.
I believe in you because you're always generous like Jasmine and other people. Very, very good.
All right, thank you. I love you.
I love you more. We got things to do, places to go, and people to see. And I sent that heaven to you, too, and your mother, also the best, right? So please listen to it. And I'm telling you, have a smile on your face. It'll be so big, your ears will be touching in the back of your head, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, I love you.
It's already doing that there.
It's going to get bigger.
I know that's real.
This is just a sample of what's to come. If you all knew how much I care about you, what I will for you, y'all be levitating. Your feet wouldn't be on the ground. All right, who's got that next spiritual experience or that question?
I have a question.
Very good.
Previously, I asked about the question or the statement that Malachi made. He said, I came giving you what you wanted so you could learn to want what I have to give. And that was regarding right knowledge, right reasoning, right wisdom, right understanding. So he took you through the different religions, Mohammedanism, Catholicism, all of that. I wasn't a part of that group or whatever. So what is the best way to, I guess, speak or talk to someone to get them, I guess, to begin to see or to open up? Because I know when you attack them, they just kind of like shut down. They go on the defense when you try to attack their Christianity or Catholicism or whatever they're in. So what would you say, or what can you offer to say, what's the best way to speak with someone to take them off the defense?
Okay, Yanun's formula was this. He came in teaching us Islam, right? And he taught us Islam so intricately and in so much depth, and learned how to recite Tawheed, the Quran by heart, and to speak Arabic and get really involved in all the scriptures by memory, so that actually he raised every man and woman up and child to know a lot about the Bible and Christianity as a religion than Reverend Reb Deacon Porchop or Pastor Patrick, and more than the Pope, right? So that whenever the conversation came up, we would overshadow them and teach them in circles and make them feel like the little ignorant children that they were, right? And then after a while, after his teaching progressed in Islam and Christianity, then he wrote books and went through the whole thing and proved to us that it was fake and foolish and it wasn't the word of God. You follow me? And we also learned that. So that just like what I do with you all with the Bible, and I can do it with the Quran and Islam. You know, you walk in the church, one of you Nawapians, and you make the preacher jump out the stained glass window. You understand? Because the information that you're getting coming through me and coming through us is so profound, they don't have an answer for it, right?
Right.
And that's what you do with people. You do with people on the street. You question them as to their belief.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, I used to go to churches all the time to this Bible study class and debate with the reverend and his pupil.
That's right. Ask them if it was only one man we all came from, why we have so many different blood types, or you know, why all the pictures in the Bible white when it says that white people are lepers and cursed, or where they can't even get their wives. Or who was it in the world that Cain was afraid of would kill him if it was nobody in the world except Cain and Abel and Adam and Eve? You know, questions like that they just can't answer.
Right. You know, a lot of the Christians don't even believe in their own Bible anyway. You know that?
Well, that's what they devil worshiping. If they know better.
That ain't true, and that ain't true.
They know it's a lie, but they just call it contradiction to try to sweeten it up.
Yeah.
Because anybody that's studious and read the Bible and was earnest about it, they done ran into lies all in the book on their own. Just like I show you. I'll take you to one place in the Bible where it says this, I'll take you to another place, and it says something totally different.
True.
And that's not the word of the Most High. The real Creator is not like that.
Right.
So what is, can you explain the part in the Bible that speaks about a reprobate mind?
Well, that is a reprobate mind. Anybody that gets seriously about pursuing something like that, and they know it's fake and full of BS, that's a reprobate mind right there. And act like they go into some holy place and getting close to God, and they know God is not alive, for one thing. And he's not the author of confusion. The devil is the author of confusion.
You know what and they got a big excuse. Let me tell you what they say all the time. They always say, lead not to your own understanding. That's it.
Right, I understand. But now you don't have to have no understanding to understand English when the book is just lying. But that's why, you know, you should ask Reverend Rib or say, why don't you allow people to ask questions? You say you represent God. You got answers, but what they do is they're taught to talk to people, not to talk with them. You can't raise your hand in church like you do with me and ask questions. Why?
Right.
If he's supposed to be a man of God, he's supposed to have some answers, right?
True.
You see, it's all fake. It's a lie. So why pursue that and act like you on a spiritual journey to get to the Most High? You ain't got nothing to do with heaven or God. Stop lying. It's a fake, a phony, and a fraud, and you know it.
Ooh.
So you keep pursuing that, then it seems that, you know, that you're insincere and you're halfway playing with the devil and definitely flirting with hell.
I don't see how people can get that deep into religion and believe the Bible and believe it. People say...
Well, I can see how they got that deep into it when you start realizing the history, because we were in Africa, a lot of us, or even indigenous here. And through slavery, chattel slavery, for example, people were in conditions where they didn't have a lot of autonomy and free will, and they were beat and subjugated in a lot of situations where they were forced to do things, not use your own language, and you were the Bible was crammed down your throat. You understand? And that was the only thing. If they caught you with the old time religion, which you believe before the white man came, then they would persecute you or worse. You understand? In fact, it was against the law during chattel slavery to even get caught reading. You follow me? That was a hanging offense.
That's right.
To be for a slave to read. So they just, after a couple of generations, all black people were basically ignorant, illiterate, right?
Yes.
So they didn't know anything except what the white man told them. It's unfortunate, but it's true. So now you meet a young man, you meet a young brother or sister on the street right now and tell them that Christian stuff is bullshit, and they're going to ask you a question. Like, well, look, this is what my mom and daddy and my grandmama and grandmama and all my family is they say it's true. And at school, on TV, and in the encyclopedia, and on the computer, the whole world believe it. So I mean, I'm gonna believe you and not them? And I know that's a real question because my own daughter asked me that. I'm walking with Dominique one day, and I was teaching her, and she said, after a long time, she's got a brilliant mind, and she said, "Daddy, wait a minute. Now the whole world believed one way, and you teaching me another, so you asking me to choose between you and the whole world. So the world wrong and you right. You understand me?"
Right.
But she didn't have the patience to sit down with me and allow me an opportunity to explain. You understand? They just run with that.
I think they also scared too.
Sure, they're scared. You understand? Because a lot of people, especially older people, they invest 50 years in believing something, and they learn in the Bible and the rituals of Christianity. For example, they get on their knees and look up at the sky to pray autonomously, and instead of doing like the Muslims that they say are devils, prostrate with their forehead to the ground, you know. But when you really read the Bible, that's how people pray, and the prophets prayed with their face to the ground. You understand? But so Christianity is antichrist. It's Christ anti. It's against the truth. You follow what I'm saying? But these are the practices that they learn. The devil is teaching them. You understand? I don't want to condemn the whole white race, but, you know, white people are basically the devil. That's why they were the slave masters. You know that. And the truth ain't in them. They lie, you know, as a way of life, just like breathing. Well, that's true. You understand? Only time Donald Trump ain't lying is when he's not talking.
Right. So they gave religion. So they gave religion to everybody. Well, I could see them giving it to the black people.
They give it to everybody. You know what I mean? In fact, when they have wars, you know, not only do their soldiers go to a country and rape all the women and miscegenate the population, just like you look at Egypt, you can look at the walls and the murals and see all the people were black. The Egyptians were black. We all know that, right? But if you go to Egypt right now, a lot of them look like white people. You understand? Just like in South America and America. You know, they got, just like as a result of slavery, now you got all these light-skinned people and this, that, and the other. You know the white man was there's a dead cat on the line. You understand what I'm saying? And every one of us been touched and polluted. We've been all polluted by his blood. But a lot of people don't realize that they've been, but what people don't realize, they've been polluted mentally and spiritually too by them. We don't just have their DNA and genetics, we got their mindset and their thinking. We've been programmed by them. People thinking they going to school and they're getting educated, they're actually getting programmed.
Sure.
Right.
That's right.
Because the main two books that people rely on for information are the Bible and the dictionary.
That's right.
But if you go to the dictionary, simply look up the word white and read the definition. I'm talking about Webster's unabridged dictionary, not this modern stuff. Look up the word white, read the definition, and then you'll be amazed by that. But if you look up the word black, you'll be shocked to know that colors have a personality. You know, when you look at the word white, it's going to say, you know, pure, innocent, and all these wonderful things. And when you look at black, it's going to say sullen, filthy, dirty, a liar, evil, and all this is.
Right.
So black is evil, right?
Liar.
And now the thing is that, first off, when have you seen white people? Now, y'all got sheets And you done seen snow. You ain't never seen no white people.
Never.
You got colorless people. You got pale people like a pig, but color. But white people, they don't exist.
Right.
And when's the last time you seen black people?
Right.
I've seen some dark niggas, but I don't remember seeing no black person.
Nope.
Like a telephone,
black,
you know what I mean?
Right, that's right. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so...
Hey, I got a question.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, I mean... And
I want to tip my hat to you, too, because I was asking people to look up the House of Who, and because of your research, Amun, I'm beginning to lean toward the fact that the House of Who might have been established by Malachi in order to introduce me to the world, because he's stopping a lot of, cutting off a lot of their teachers, like on Telegram, and he said on there that he's stopping people from teaching online, and the only way they get information is through bookstores. So he's pulling them off and stopping these people from teaching the WAPU, and I thought that was a bad thing until I really thought about it, and it might be him trying to funnel those people to us. Are you following me? So go ahead. Your question.
Well, you already know. That was his job. Okay, one of my questions was
he knew his book said.
Okay, right. Okay, now, I want to know the Pretendians and all these other fake races, even the ones that we were talking about, because even the Egyptians, had not the Arabs came and infiltrated northern Africa, they wouldn't look like what they look like today. But we're going to digress. We already know their story on that. But what about these Pretendians, $5 Indians, some of us call them here, the fake Jews? What's going to happen to all of them? Because personally, I was looking at something earlier today that was pretty informative. And if anybody in class can, try to find this series. It was originally on Sci-Fi, but then it transferred over to USA, and it's called Resident Alien. You will get a lot of information about some of these things that we've been talking about in class, the Blue Avians, etc. But while I was watching this, I got kind of upset and agitated because they were in Colorado with the Oop tribe, as they call it, which we know that's not the correct pronunciation. I'm going to digress on that, too. But I'm so sick of them, just like the so-called Illuminati. Y'all call yourselves using our stuff, and I know it can't be working for y'all. When is all of this stuff going to be up for them, short story, for all of this?
Their time ended in the year 2000. The devil's time was up. But Leviathan was such a large, giant beast.
They're keeping up the propaganda.
Well, I follow you. Well, that's just lies, but let me see. You can see the devil's power is waning, eroding every day. For example, a lot of people used to believe in holidays. I know we did. Christmas, even if we didn't have money, we found a way to get a real Christmas tree. And people sung the carols and listened to the songs, and it was festive, and Halloween, and we couldn't afford real costumes, but they would take pillowcases and different things and lipstick and makeup, things, and go out with a bag and trick or treat and Easter and all that. People scrape up their last money to get their kids, Easter clothes, a little suit and dress and black patent leather shoes to go to, all that. Put on the Easter bonnet and this, that, and the other. But now, look at holidays now. How many people, when Christmas comes, when you drive down, do you see all these houses decorated and all these people out on Easter and all that like you used to see, yes or no?
Nope, not
no. No. And the Catholic Church is paying people to go sit in and Catholic Church is paying people to sit in the pews now. And the white race is dying faster than being born. Don't believe me? Check it out. Just go on Google, why are white people dying faster than they're being born? And
they're
just sit back.
Fast enough, and neither is the other one.
Well, fast enough is relevant. That's just a personal opinion. I mean, when you start looking at, thousands of years that it took to get this way, when you say it's not fast enough, this is 2026 and that time was up 2000, the year 2000, that's pretty fast when you start thinking about the magnitude of what happened, the scope of it, and how many thousand years it took, to happen.
We're still looking at them, man. We're still looking at them and got to deal with them.
But you got few of them right now, you see. Donald Trump is implementing laws where black people and people of color can't come into the country. And he's trying to get the ones, Mexicans and Latinos and blacks out now, right? But did you know that did you know they paying Europeans to come over here? They're paying them thousands of dollars to come over here to move into America because white people are disappearing. And you see, the problem here. Let me show you what the problem is. One of the biggest problems, one of the 5 P's is politics, right? And the white man taught you that the majority rules. Remember that? But now the people of color are the majority. Your Latinos and blacks and Orientals and what have you. They outnumber white people in America. So what's going to happen at the polls when it's time to vote? If the majority rules, that means white people are out of power. So they fail it in every sense of the word.
Cool.
Their time is up, and it's quite evident.
Votes ain't gonna count.
Let me show you. Their time is up, and just the weather itself. This is the sun cycle. And how many here can deny that it's getting hotter and hotter every year?
No, we can't deny that.
That's undeniable.
Winter was pretty hot.
But let me ask you, the sun and all that heat, is that conducive to white people?
No.
No,
malignant melanoma is on the rise.
No.
You see?
And everywhere you look, you see white people with sunglasses on.
They're dropping dead from heat strokes and skin cancer and things. In fact, the sun is going to be the primary cause of their demise. You follow me? It's chasing them just like vampires. And they bursting into literal flames. What do you think a sun burner is?
I got a question about that. I know my body over the course of the last several months has been heating up a lot.
That's right.
Yes. Mine too.
But theirs has too.
I'll be like, dang.
Your body's heating up and so is mine. But let me tell you something. You all have what you call sun heat genes. Melanin is a very special thing. You've been blessed with melanin. It can take up to 500 degrees or more in the oven. And it don't burn, just gets sweet. But white people can't take that heat.
No.
Don't you know white people don't even have pores to sweat? Sure, they're going to get strokes and pass out. You see, but because they have hirsutism, let me explain. Because they have hirsutism, listen, because they have hirsutism that pour all over their body, all their pores are plugged up with hair follicles. They can't sweat. Like a dog get hot and it has to sweat off his tongue. Because their skin is plugged up with fur follicles. White people got that fur all over their body. They can't sweat. They choking down in that heat. And that outright sun, they got to wear protection. They got to have sun guard and sunblock and sunglasses and all kind of big giant hats and what do you call that, suntan lotion and all these type of things to protect them like vampires, from the sun. It's killing them. Mm-hmm. Now what they're doing, you can tell their time is up. Let me explain. You can tell their time is up because now they creating these. They got to go. They're being driven back to the caves like they are every sun cycle. They're being driven into the cave, but now they're sophisticated and they building malls and underground complexes and different things. But they prepare to go into the mountains and underground and in outer space to get off this hot-ass rock. Because it's killing them.
That's right.
White people can't take all that direct sunlight like that and all that heat. They're trying to rearrange the system that people don't have to go to work no more. They can work from home. You understand? So they don't have to leave out of the air conditioning. And they got it set up now where that they got all these stores where they can do online shopping and have the stuff delivered to the door. They can't go out there.
Yeah.
They got it where you can call on the phone and they deliver your food and everything you want, diapers, everything can come to the door. Don't you understand? They arrange it for white people, a vampire society where they don't have to go out in the sun cycle.
So true.
They're going back to the caves. They're going back to modern day caves. You understand? Yeah, that time is up. Pay attention.
Sure.
Check your surroundings.
Well,
I understand that you wish you could just snap your finger and it was over right away, but it's a gradual diminution, but it's happening. You understand? And I'm back. The Messiah's back, and I'm just like a disease in them, an infection, and they, I'm something inside. When we come here and tell them the truth like that, that's like a dagger in their heart. You understand? That ain't doing no good for accepted religion and all their lying dictionaries and their philosophies and all this bullshit they've been programming with. When you come out here with the real truth like that, that blows all that up.
Yes, it does.
And people don't believe in the devil no more. And if they don't believe in him, the devil don't have no more power. They don't have no more people that enlist in their military or to believe in their, respect their authority or nothing. Or their churches. People don't trust the devil. They used to try to convince people that they were Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and all this, and Leave It to Beaver and all this, but now you done found out that the cartoons you were looking at, Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig, was actually them because one part of their curse was to be cursed as apes and swine, but the other, they was laying that, a physical curse, and Sajin, spiritual curse, where they try to do good, but evil is found with them, and laying that was a twofold physical curse of leprosy and bestiality, because they lay with animals. And now when they have cartoons, now you realize, looking back, that they were trying to tell you that Porky Pig and Deputy Dog was friendly and cute and all that, but actually what it was the I am the Dr. Monroe. They try to get you from childhood to accept the fact that they got people and animals in the same goddamn body.
Ooh.
Like it was cute or funny. Ain't nothing funny about no man and pig in the same body. Or no woman and dog, or mouse and woman.
Right.
That's an abomination.
That's right.
That's the devil. But y'all waking up now. Certainly thou would heedless of it. But today we have removed from thee thy veil. Thy sight is sharp. That's why I'm here. I'm snatching the scab off.
Thank you.
That's right.
All right.
I was drinking coffee with too much cream in it, but now I'm taking the cream out and it's black. It used to put you to sleep, now it's waking you up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. John 8:32, know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, my other question is, as far as other beings, have they lived many lives like we have?
Some beings have, yes. Yes,
And were
some
they
beings
human
have.
at one point?
Huh? Yeah. All beings have been coming
were some of them were human at one point as well?
Yeah. Everybody was the same, what you call human or normal. When we were in heaven, there were species like seraphim and cherubim, but all of them were in heaven because in heaven you had some beings that were disagreeable. That species was called a cherubim, but they were not evil. There's a distinction between evil and disagreeable. A disagreeable example is that soldiers are marching in rank, in cadence, and one soldier steps left to right in and out the line, and he's an annoyance But the evil is they march in formation and a nigga turn around and walk backwards and scatter the ranks. Now that's evil. Now these devils, when they rebelled against the word of the Most High, they went from disagreeable and shot all the way down to evil. And I don't know where you're going, but you got to leave here. With that.
Cool.
You understand?
Amun.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to leave here.
Yeah.
Amun, I got a question.
I'll do my best.
Do we reincarnate like continuously through the same bloodline, or is it like different families kind of thing?
It depends if you got a dead cat on the line. Of course you're going to reincarnate through the same bloodline, as long as the bloodline is pure.
Okay.
But my family, for example, you know, we're black, and then we were Indians, and then my daddy said, my grandfather was Carmel Darisberg. He was a German Jew, came over here with a banana boat, and then he married my grandmother, and so that we were black and white, O'Donnell, you know. And then he said a big black man from Mississippi with red eyes came, and he got in the bloodline. Now we black, white, and Indian. They call us Creoles. You understand that?
Cool.
But we started off as Indians, American Indians, and they are miscegenation, a hybrid themselves, because all of them were black over here until the Ming Dynasty came from China and landed in California, and they started mixing with the blacks and made the Indians. Like the Mexicans are really mixed, you understand? Mexicans. And that's why when you look at Indians, they have hollow heads, shovel teeth. They get that from Chinese. Chinese can't curl their hair. You ever notice that? Because their hair is hollow. Chinese have hollow heads, shovel teeth. So do I. I have shovel teeth. And American Indians have shovel. And black people, they have protection from the sun through melanin. But not Indians, the Chinese. You understand?
Yeah,
they have their protection from the sun through another element, right? That's why when you look at certain American Indians, they have slanted eyes. Like Chinese, have you noticed that? And don't they have hair like Chinese, black and like that? And Chinese don't really have a lot of hair on their body. That's the Indians. All right, I'm being told that it's 10:25 now. Time really flies when you're having fun, right?
Cool.
Oh, Danny, I sent you that piece on heaven too, and I want y'all to listen to that as soon as you get off the phone. And if you meditate on it while you're going to sleep, and don't fall asleep, but listen to the whole thing, I guarantee you're going to leave your body and go to heaven if you really pay attention to it. That's just a gift of you all, a sample of what I want for you, a small indication of what I want for y'all, what I will for you. But I love you. Now, everybody that's seriously, go outside and look at the sky and tell me what you see so we can perform some miracles tonight. I keep telling you why it's so important to do it.
I see a star.
All right. And where you at, son?
Chicago.
Okay. Raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay. All right, drop down in the name of the Messiah. You see it? All right, move to the left in the name of the Messiah. Move to the left.
Move to the left.
All right, now move to the right. Now go in a circle clockwise.
It's going in a circle.
All right.
Thank you.
I love you. Next person. We need one more person.
California.
You're in California? What do you see?
I see a bright star in the sky.
All right. I'm going to make that star come closer to you. Come closer to him in the name of the Messiah.
Moving closer.
Now go on back out.
Backing up.
Yeah. Now go in a circle counterclockwise.
Moving counterclockwise.
I love you. Now
Love
all
you.
creation, you see a lot of stars out there. All creation raise up in the name of Amun-Rayay, the whole creation.
Everything's moving.
Yeah. Now all creation move to the left.
Moving left.
Yeah. I love you all. You know that, right?
Love you more.
Now go and check out your email and go to heaven tonight, okay? And we'll all join together in that spiritual plane. We are one.
Boom.
I love you. Nitia Authority, Amun-Rayay, Asa, servant to the 144,000. Peace, family.